All right. Well, hello everyone. I believe we are now streaming on most things. I'm waiting for Twitter Spaces to get started. All right. Oh, well. Wait. Hello everyone. I'm hearing something. I believe we are now. I need to mute that. On. And I need to. Okay. Okay. Well, I think we're generally live, but for some reason, Twitter Spaces is still connecting. Let me try that. Let me try that one more time. Let me go back and space and skip. Okay, all right. I'm connected over there now as well. So, hello everyone. My name is Mighty Beard, and we are going to be playing some D&D tonight. We have a shortened roster. One was planned, the other one not so much, but that's fine. They might be popping in a bit later. But a few things. First of all, you can head on over to agentsofbeard.com. That is the website that stores session recaps and links to all the things that we do. Just about every player is a content creator on YouTube or Twitch. Mostly playing Minecraft. I think everyone is still mostly all playing Minecraft. Yeah, you can get their links there, and then we also have a Discord server where all the lore is stored. So lore and session recaps again, and information about the different players and the characters that they're playing, their stories, and all that sort of thing. But also just general conversations with us and other people that listen, either through the podcast or through the live streams, or however you consume this stuff. But today we are going to be heading out to Whitmore and rejoining the party that is on a little bit of a personal quest. Wisp, who is a native elf to the continent, she was given the okay from the bosses at the Adventurers Guild. Since there's a little bit of downtime, to go off and pursue the mysteries surrounding the closure of the Feywild gateways. And so she had made a contact with Jabble Webner, who is a halfling who seemed to also be interested in such things, and is also a druid. So yeah, they kind of connected and had conversations and decided to meet up whenever they could meet up again. And yeah, that led them over into Firbolg territory. So let's pull up the map real quick. So yes, if you're listening on Twitter Spaces, we are also streaming this over on YouTube and Twitch and Rumble and all that sort of thing. But you also can get the video on demand on our YouTube channel, and hopefully we'll be releasing that on Twitter as well. Though it's kind of hard because we go about 3 hours, and Twitter has a 2-hour limit of uploads. So we'll see. But anyways, on the map here, just north of the Grimhead Marsh, south of Pumpkin Town, is where Jabble wanted to meet up, and had just spent some time in Firbolg territory, meeting with the people there, and yeah, trying to get some more information. And it so happens, luckily, coincidentally, or not, Clover is also a native to the land. She's a native Firbolg, and this is where she comes from. And so she traveled with the group from Whitmore down here. So you guys had met up from Whitmore, traveled down to Firbolg territory, and met up with the people there, the little community. And while you guys were having dinner, it was realized that 3 young ones had traveled out into the forests, the surrounding forests, and had not returned, which is odd. So they were nervous because there is, at least with the Firbolgs, there is some shoot, I'm losing the word. It's not stereotype. It's superstitions. There we go. That's the word. Superstitions about the surrounding land and things there. And there is a place known as the place no one must go. That when Firbolgs are growing up, they get kind of rebellious, and some go there. So there was fear that they had traveled there and got involved in some stuff. So this party agreed to go out and investigate. And as they went out to investigate, located the 3 missing Firbolg. 2 had been sent home with Jabble. The 3rd seemed to be under some hallucinatory effects, potentially caused by some slime that was discovered on a bit of a burial mound tomb just a few hundred feet away from where they were found. But giant runes all around. And so Vels was outside observing, making sure that no harm came to this Firbolg who had tied themselves to one of the runes at this location, and was kind of talking crazy like, hey, the giants are going to come back, and this has to happen, and all that stuff. So but you guys had ventured in, and let's go ahead and preload this and then bring you guys over. You guys had ventured in and did a little bit of exploring of the inside of the tomb, mainly to figure out where the slime was coming from, and anything else. I mean, you're adventurers. This is part of the job of going into unknown areas and finding out what they are. Yes, where we left off, Khaligrim had opened up a door and found 2 skeletons dancing and floating in the middle of the room, dancing around, doing a bit of a waltz, and inviting Khaligrim to join. But that is where we paused. So that is the general recap. But let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. First of all, we have Lark.
Hello, I'm Lark. I'm playing Clover, a Firbolg, a paladin of Lathander. She has a big heart and no brain cells, but she makes up with it for her love for her friends. That's all I got.
And we have Khaligrim. Say hello.
Hello. I'm Khaligrim, a hill dwarf who is seeking an adventure beyond the Halls of Stone to uncover the mysteries about the giants and hopefully pass their knowledge one day back down into his kin.
So again, this is probably a scary area for Clover, but on the opposite side, this is probably an exciting area. Khaligrim, giant runes is what you are studying and what you're trying to find, and here's a spot that has a bunch of them. But also some weird, wacky dancing skeletons that you got to figure out how to maneuver around here. And also, slime. Weird slime that seems to be affecting the outside. It had broken. There was a hole that was kind of broken in the side of this tomb. And apparently interacted with, causes hallucinations or something crazy. Now, we do not have Wisp, who is our druid. We also do not have Vels, who is our sorcerer. So Vels, right before we finished the last session, was outside with the Firbolg that is tied to the center of this little circular rune structure of sorts. And so we're gonna move him out there. And Wisp, I think we'll do the same thing with Wisp. Wisp sees these skeletons and is like, let me check on Vels. So she's gonna go outside. So in the meantime, it is just you guys. And again, looking at the scene, we have 2 skeletons dancing. And one of them has a pearl necklace. Seems very fancy. It's almost as if they're going to like this is like a fancy dinner party, but obviously not. But she is being dipped and twirled by the other skeleton, and as you enter into the threshold, Khaligrim, just kind of stick your head in there past the doorway. She extends her hand over to you. Before you tell me what you do, let's go ahead and everybody, we're gonna request some D6 rolls.
Roll.
Right.
I think it's a 4.
Yes, we have 2 4s here.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're new, our D6s, we start every session, or at least the good chunky part of a session. Rolling D6s to determine how the day is going to fare. It's kind of like a fate die, and we're looking for 2 numbers when it comes to that. 1s and 6s. 6s means this is gonna be an awesome day, and things are gonna work out, and everything's gonna be cool. Might have someone looking out for you. Find a cache of health potions just kind of tucked away after a battle or something, and or 1s would be worst case scenario. But we got 4s. It's gonna be a normal day.
As normal as it can be with skeletons.
Yeah.
All right, so the room you guys are in was the central chamber, like little lobby area. It was musty, it was wet. Floor was covered in dust. The door that you guys had just entered into, inscribed in giant red, "The Most Dear." In the 4 corners of that room, there were also items on plinths, and they were moldy, but seemed to be like generally kind of like religious in nature, or at least I don't know, something worth remembering, I guess. But about like an inch tall, or I'm sorry, about a foot tall, about a half a foot wide, almost round in shape, but then again, almost kind of like an arrow as far as how it's set up, like a pear shape, but not as pointed for the arrow. But there were 4 runes on it that seem to represent frost, cloud, fire, and stone giants. But again, Khaligrim, you have entered into, or at least crossed the threshold into the next room, and there are 2 floating skeletons. They are dancing arm in arm, and one of them has invited you to join. Hand has been extended. The skeleton is wearing a very precious, fancy-looking pearl necklace, and again, they're floating, so they're about a foot off the ground.
What race skeletons are they?
Oh, that's a good question. Clover, as you look in, kind of observing this, you would gauge that they're Firbolg.
Okay.
A little bit on the taller side. Definitely not giant, but yeah, taller than humans, elves. Khaligrim, again, that slime that was on the outside is also in this room. So the first 2 coffins on either side of the doorway, you know that they have been opened, seemingly where these skeletons have come from, but the slime is on the skeletons, also on the lids of the on these sarcophaguses, but also just kind of like throughout this room, not like solid slime floor, but just kind of like drippings of it pretty much everywhere.
Was there lots of slime on the skeletons, or was it just like patches of just slime?
Patches. Yeah, it's not everywhere. It's but yeah, you are seeing it, especially like near the feet. It's kind of like slowly dripping off of the feet, but also seeing it on some of the arms, a little bit of the chest area.
Do we fight them or?
I mean, it'd be rude not to accept an invitation to dance with a skeleton, but considering what the situation is right now, probably we will be having to go into a fight at some point. Tell you what, I'll lure the skeletons away, so we can hopefully get a better idea as to what we're facing inside here.
Okay, I should be good against skeletons if it comes to it.
Okay. All right. Let's do this. So yeah.
Oi.
But turn to face the skeleton that's offering their hand out. I just approach them, kind of just slowly, offering my hand out as well.
Okay, so your intention here is what again?
Kind of just to like lure the skeletons away, so we're both able to kind of have a better like idea as to what's in this main room.
Okay, so you're gonna like dance with the skeleton, get them to move away so that I can come in and look around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so your intention here is to play along, get involved in a dance, and hopefully lead them out of this room back to the prior room.
Yeah, just to like lure them like away, to keep them like distracted.
Okay. All right. Just to be clear though, like Clover, you don't want to go in here as long as there's skeletons in here. Is that what's being suggested?
Not quite. She's willing to go in, but she is very much on edge. Like she's got her weapon and just ready to take a pot shot whenever she needs to.
Yeah, this is weird. Yeah, this is totally weird. So that makes sense. Okay, cool. So Khaligrim, you are going to join in on this dance. So talk to me through this. What again, they're kind of doing a little bit of a waltz. So even though the hand is extended, it has to be kind of like lowered down a little bit. Because again, they're a bit taller in stature. They're also a foot off the ground. So, but she lowers her hand, and as you step forward to take it, to accept her offer, she lets go of the other one and just kind of moves towards you to this music that you're not hearing. So walk me through this. How's your dance steps?
Ooh. I mean, for a dwarf, they probably haven't really done much for a waltz, so he's probably like, very I don't know, very what's the term? Very like firm in their movement, very like very stiff, I suppose. Probably doesn't help with the situation either. He's probably like very stiff with the movement because he's very like on edge as well, like about the whole situation.
Do you attempt to take lead? Do you attempt to control the pacing?
No. Not initially, anyway.
Okay. So the pacing is it's kind of upbeat. But the other one just kind of like moves over here and just kind of like rests next to this this sarcophagus in the back, and yeah, she kind of like leads you back a little bit, and he starts like clapping. So he starts like bobbing his leg, and he's clapping, looks to be having a good time. Clover, before you enter forward, as you're standing out here, it sounded like you were like a little bit antsy.
Yeah.
Is that just mentality, or is that like movement? Is your feet moving? Are you looking around? Are you like what's your situation as you watch this
no.
happen?
Physically, she's antsy too. She's got like both hands on her weapon, and she's more shuffling than walking. Just kind of like ready to move out of the way or to make an attack if she needs to. She's battle ready.
Can you roll me a perception? And can you roll me a perception with advantage?
Perception with advantage. Jeez, 10 with advantage.
That's a big 10.
That's a big 10.
Okay. So I think from your vantage point, you're probably mostly focusing on Khaligrim and just anticipating something, anticipating a moment where you need to like get in there and do stuff. Again, just
Right.
kind of describe that room. It's just lined with sarcophaguses on either side of the wall, so there's 6 in total. As this one moves back, there is almost like a joy sensing from his standpoint. Doesn't seem to be offended that his dance partner has taken the hands of someone else. Seems to be enjoying it. The other thing about this room that I think would just kind of set it off a little bit more is that there isn't a whole lot of dust on the ground. It seems pretty clean. So in comparison from this room to the room you're standing in, there's like an obvious disjointed line, right? Because there's a bunch of dust on the ground in the room you're in. And I would say as you see Khaligrim step forward, you notice that some of the dust kind of moves aside, and it seems like there's like tiling on the room that you're in. And here in this room, it's more of a solid stone.
Okay.
But yeah, it seems like a good old time. Khaligrim, yeah, as you're dancing along, she seems to like attempt to kind of lead, and she motions for you to twirl her around and just kind of like moves in that direction. So almost like trying to put you towards the center of the room. But Clover, you were about to enter in and do something.
Yeah, I'm keeping 5 feet between me and Khaligrim the entire time. So I'm mostly just moving into the doorway.
Okay. So yes, you have your hand on a weapon. But just a reminder, you also holding a torch in the other hand.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
But as you enter in the room, looking at the scene in front of you, and also just being aware of the skeleton in the back of the room, he kind of like waves over towards you.
Like
almost like
waves as a hello wave.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as how maps are constructed, it seems like this is kind of a tight space, but there's definitely enough room for you to walk around in between Khaligrim and the sarcophagus is on the right side.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that picture floating around of somebody who actually showed what a 5-foot square is in real life. It's a lot more space than you realize.
I think it was Bob the Builder has to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have entered in, just kind of keeping watch.
Yeah.
Khaligrim. Yes, it's very jaunty. Are you enjoying this? Are you enjoying being danced with?
I don't know. It's hard. It's like mixed feelings about it because like he's trying to like kind of fake it in a way because obviously with the whole situation and all that, he doesn't want to like get too. I suppose he doesn't want to enjoy himself too much, where like he kind of loses focus of what's going on, but neither does he want to like, um get caught out on like
Right.
him not enjoying it. So
Right.
yeah, trying to put a facade on basically.
Okay. So as the movement goes, circular motion. So there is like a want, like an obvious like thrust to try and reposition you. Do you fight that at all? Again, I would say just passive insight and just kind of getting like the overall vibe of this thing. Like, it seems friendly. I mean, it's obviously odd and out of place, but
yeah,
it seems very very casual and friendly.
I mean, yeah, I think he would probably try and balance it between like, whether she try and like leads him in the other way, and him trying to like almost try and balance it back instead of like, you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to be like taken like too far back where like, he could easily get like the situation could easily change, or like, or if it becomes like a trap or something like that. But,
Okay. So we'll say this goes on for a couple of minutes, and again there's just dancing, and it seems like a lot of fun. You guys will be moved back over here. She'll kind of swing around you, come back. This guy is clapping all about. We'll eventually move down over here and extend a hand to Clover.
When they were swinging about, I'm just going to say that I'm peering into the sarcophagi on my left and right.
Okay. All right, very well. Generally speaking, that seems mostly empty. Some cloth on the ground, like bedding, almost. But yeah, there's really nothing kind of like left behind. But seems plausible and most likely that these skeletons came from that sarcophagus. Why they got out? Who knows? Who knows at this point?
Okay.
Wisp, real quick. You
Hi.
You have re-entered into the tomb, and you are just kind of like observing this. Can I get a perception check from you?
Thing. Perception.
I had a big fat 10.
Ooh.
with advantage.
With advantage.
So I just rolled, I'm rolling normally, right?
Hmm?
Just a normal roll?
Yes. A 13.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, again, Khaligrim is dancing with the one with the pearl necklace, and seems to be maybe more on the feminine side. So is kind of taking the lead, but also like doing like the dips and stuff. As Khaligrim stiffly tries to dance around in this area. Clover has moved in. The skeleton that was in the back, that was also like the dance partner before, took a pause to clap and bob its leg around and waved over to Clover, and now it is confronting Clover, hand extended as if it is inviting Clover to dance as well.
Maybe.
You're observing this. But I think one additional piece of information you would note is you had exited out, check in on Vels, check in on the other Firbolg that was there, had come back in, and you would notice that the ground in here, which is covered by dust, dust has started to move because of people walking in and out, right? So, and you're noticing that the ground is tiled. It seems like there's a bit of a decoration down on the ground that's covered by all this dust. But as people are moving into the next room and throughout, it's starting to be uncovered. But there is a stark difference between the ground in here and the ground in the room in front of you, in that the ground in front of you seems to be more of like just a solid stone floor, and there's really no dust. It's easy to see that floor.
Interesting. So the tile that I'm currently standing on is more decorative in that case?
It seems to. I mean, again, it's mostly covered by dust, but it seems like there's something there.
Initial
Again,
observation.
Yeah, it just could be decoration, but Clover, hand has been extended. Are you accepting?
I'm turning back to Wisp. I'm looking over my shoulder at Wisp with just like these big deer in headlight eyes, just screaming, "Help me!" silently.
Is there any way that I can get around Clover?
To take Clover's spot?
Basically. Or see if the skeleton in front of me would be amenable to me taking her spot.
I'd willingly like swap places with her if she wanted to.
Yeah, that's totally fine. So we'll move Clover back. Wisp, you can move forward. Sense of disappointment, but not too strong. I mean, there's no facial reactions that you can gather. It's a skeleton, right? But yeah, if you step forward, it'll again, it's probably about like 8 foot tall, but then it's floating about a foot up. So it's kind of towering over you, but it looks down and it takes a bit of a bow and extends its hand towards you. Wisp.
A slight bow and take its hand in return.
Okay. I'm going to try something here real quick. And it has been a super long time since I listened to any of this, but I feel like we need different music.
1, 2,
let's try,
3. 1,
let's try
2,
this.
3.
Not that one. Nope, I don't like that one either. Okay, we'll just do this one. Wisp, hand has been extended. Are you taking it? Are you joining in? Again, the vibe has been very friendly, very casual, and no obvious ill intent has been shown.
I'd like to, as we start dancing, see if there's anything else that I notice about this room.
Okay. So he takes your hand and begins to waltz with you around. You guys kind of twirl a bit, so your positions get changed. You get back to back with Khaligrim, and then you move back. Seems to be a little bit more movement towards the center. But it seems like the general same dance that you are experiencing, Khaligrim is experiencing as well. As far as this room goes, it's lined with sarcophaguses on either side, 6 in total. Otherwise, the room is pretty unremarkable. Well, let me take that back. There's no obvious markings on any of the sarcophaguses. These two are open. So the lids have been kind of jammed off to the side. So they're kind of stuck in between the wall and the edge of the sarcophagus. A little bit of slime smattered on top of it, same slime that's on the outside. And on the bodies of the skeletons, you're also seeing that same slime, but just kind of like in splotches. Ground has like little drippings around.
I'll try to take care to avoid as much of the slime as possible.
Okay.
Does it seem like do you say it's coming in through the walls, or it just happens to be in there?
It just happens to be in here, from what you can see. Yeah, you're not really sensing a source or anything.
So something brought this in here.
We'll say another few minutes goes by, and skeletons are kind of reconnected. And again, probably this whole ordeal so far has been about 5 minutes. But they will switch off and kind of let you guys go. Motion that you guys should dance, and then the skeletons go back to dancing amongst themselves. So Khaligrim and Wisp.
This will be interesting.
Has been suggested you dance from the skeletons to you.
I suppose so.
Yeah. Why not?
Probably best to stay on their good side for now.
Yeah.
So I guess we do the best we can to dance regardless of our height difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's really good that I didn't take the place.
So you guys begin to dance, and as the skeletons see that, they kind of split and go on either side of the room and just kind of start to clap with the general beat that you guys are dancing in. And yeah. The only other noticeable thing in this room that you guys would notice is at the end of the hall, there is a door to the north.
Then I'm gonna try and like scoot around Khaligrim to look in this sarcophagus.
You want to open up the sarcophagus to look inside.
Okay, the lid is on. Okay, cool. It's only these two bottom ones that the lids are off.
Correct.
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
The other two are closed. Not necessarily sealed. There's no like latches or anything. They're probably just kind of laid on top. But yes, they are closed, unmarked.
Okay, cool. Then I'm going to look at the ceiling and see if there's any obvious goop drip spots.
Okay. So, really, you're trying to locate a source. So ceiling and wherever else it could be.
Correct.
All right. I will take another perception, or I would also accept investigation.
Let me go double check which is better. Perception. Please hold. I've got a cat trying to walk across my keyboard. 19.
Ooh, nice.
19. That is much better.
That is much better.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you begin to look around the room, scanning, trying to figure out the source of where this slime is coming from. In the meantime, Khaligrim and Wisp, you guys are dancing in the center of the room. Skeletons are clapping and seem to be having just a wonderful time. How long do you guys want to dance for before you determine this is probably not what you signed up for?
Probably the length of an average song, about 3-4 minutes total, max.
Okay.
Something like that, yeah.
Are you trying to stay put? Trying to stay in the center or towards the south of the room, or are you moving around other locations?
I do kind of want to get a peek at the door as well, just to like see if there's a lock on it, or see if it looks like it's something that can be pushed open or whatnot.
Okay. So you guys move towards the door. Wisp. It's a stone door. There is a handle, but not a locking mechanism that you see. There's like a ring handle that could probably be pulled, and actually you do see some markings on the ground as if the stone door scraped against the stone floor. Yeah, so it's a pull door.
So I guess I'm kind of chatting with Khaligrim a little bit as we're dancing as well, and noticing this, and noticing that there was no dust in this room. I'm wondering if somebody comes in and maintains this area, or something along those lines, but exits through that door, not the one we came in.
Maybe you wouldn't think the skeletons would clean up this place? Oh.
It's possible, but I don't suppose that's something that they would typically do after death.
I mean, I wouldn't expect a skeleton to do a waltz either in this place.
Anyway, we should see if we can get beyond that door at some point.
Yeah, good idea.
As you guys conclude your dance, skeletons kind of stand up again, away from the sarcophaguses, and clap, and they both take bows. Little curtsy from the one with the pearl necklace. The other one who is wearing like a gold medallion on his chest. Just normal, formal bow looking thing. Clover, as they're dancing and wrapping up, you would find some cracks in the ground near the bases of these two sarcophaguses. It seems like it has come up from the ground.
I'm just gonna tug on Khaligrim's sleeve and motion to the cracks in the ground.
One other thing you would notice is the lids to the two sarcophaguses that are kind of like that are open and kind of lodged in between the wall and the sarcophagus proper. It's not just splotches of this slime, but it's like covered in the slime.
All right, kiddo.
Oh God. Okay.
And as you are looking around, the lid is pretty much up to the roof. The roof is about 15 feet, so it's kind of like lodged in the wall. But as you walked over and realized, and you know, continued your investigation, it seems like it's like they're both not lodged in between the wall and the sarcophagus. It seems like it's being held in place on the ceiling, and there's just like a few feet gap between it and the floor. And
That's a little horrifying.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it like they like were like whipped open and like they just got stuck there in between the wall and the sarcophagus. But yeah, it seems like they're almost being pulled up.
Then yeah, I'm going to point that out to the others as well, because that's terrifying. So, like, pulled up to the ceiling. I just want to make sure that I'm following. Does it seem like it's the goop doing that, or is there like a magic effect doing that?
Well, based on perceiving this, would you like to test out theories by interacting with it, or are you just trying to figure this out by just looking at it?
I'll take a javelin and poke at it. Ready to drop the javelin if it starts creeping up it.
Okay. With the point of the javelin?
Yeah.
All right. So real quick, Wisp and Khaligrim, you guys conclude your dance. The skeletons seem very happy about that and the job that you did, and are clapping. They both bow to you. Any reaction from you guys, or would you be motioning towards one of the exits at this point? Prior to Clover interacting with you guys.
We do a quick slime check just to make sure neither of us got like any slime on them from the skeletons.
call.
Doesn't seem so.
Yo.
Okay.
I think without knowing
Well-
anything further, I'd probably start heading towards the door.
Well, as you guys turn to find out what Clover's doing, Clover points at you towards the cracks in the floor, the slime emerging from that, and starts to pull out a javelin to poke at the lid of one of the sarcophaguses. And Clover, as you poke at the lid moves. You apply just a little bit of a pressure to it, and it moves away from you, like with it. So it's as if like it is weightless. And it kind of scrapes up against the wall a little bit. It kind of scrapes up against the ceiling a little bit. Almost like you're like pushing a balloon.
Huh. Okay.
Well, that's different.
Hmm.
Explains why they're floating. Maybe? I'd suggest to detect magic, but I feel like this entire place is magic.
And of course, that's something I didn't carry today.
I've got one, I've got a racial innate spellcasting detect magic.
Mm-hmm.
So if I need to do it, I've got like one use of it.
Can I go over and examine it and see if there's any sort of magic that I might recognize?
Just by observation.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, you would, that's good. No.
Okay.
It definitely seems like it could be magic. Like it's weird enough that magic making something weightless, making things weightless, doesn't quite mesh with the concept of also animating the dead. Like if those things are related at all. So I would say it's definitely out of this world. So it could be magic, but there's nothing in your knowledge that would suggest a specific source of that. So it's easily plausible that it could be something else.
Well, seeing as there's slime coming up through the floors, I'm wondering if we should just start moving.
Probably a good idea.
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Okay. So to the south of you, there were 2 rooms that you just peeked your head into. So your options are to head back to the south and see what else could be found in those 2 rooms, or you could advance north to whatever's behind this door.
I do remember glancing into those two rooms at the bottom, and there is like a wall of slime in both of them. So we can if we want, but
a
fine.
wall might be the wrong memory. It is there
Or like
is,
it was dripping.
there was a concentration of slime, yes.
Yeah.
But
Wall was a bit of a
avoidable.
hyperbole, I guess.
Avoidable. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess
If
we can go
the
back and take a
slime is-
look.
Yeah, if the slime's avoidable, I wouldn't be opposed to going through.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and head back, and if we don't find anything, then we know our next direction. I'll follow you fine folks out. Kind of in the back of the line.
One moment. One moment.
No worries.
Bunk. Left or right?
Real quick
Go.
descriptions of left to right. The room to the right, as you peeked in, it felt very cold in there. There was a place that looked like maybe at one time held a statue, but as of now, there's no statue there. And the only reason why you think there was a statue there is because on the left side room, there was a bit of an elevated platform that did have a statue. And that statue had its eyes covered and was facing towards the center of this place. So like towards the room, kneeling, and facing like northeast.
So, like, facing towards the opposite corner that it's in.
Correct, yes.
Yeah, there's also, like, a door here, isn't there?
Correct.
I'm happy to try going right.
With the no statue?
Yeah, maybe it's further down, maybe?
No, I'm asking because since we're coming down out of the previous room, the left and right on the map is opposite to the left and right of our characters.
Oh, yeah.
So are you going this way or are you going this way?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm happy to go left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Statue or no statue?
Again, the as you guys leave, the skeletons kind of follow you momentarily, but then like rejoin in the center and begin their dance once again.
Oh.
Temperature wise in general, it's a bit cool. It's a little damp in here, but you know, you're like in the middle of summer, so it's 70s. It's pretty nice. Nice in general. It's a little cooler in here than it is outside, but no breezes. But again, as you begin to move forward towards that room, you're feeling like very cold draft coming from it.
We're entering the cold room.
All right.
Yep.
1 second. Let's kind of stick together for a
Okay.
little bit. So.
Okay.
Oop.
Was that you? No setting off the fire alarm.
That was me. Okay. So, all right. So some things you guys are going to notice as you begin to enter in this room. Khaligrim, you'd be the first to feel it, and that is, it is bitter cold in here. It's like you're in an ice chamber as you enter into this room. There is a door to the northwest of you that seems to be jammed shut. It's wooden, seems to be swelling a little bit. But there is slime, that same slime that seems to be seeping out of the bottom. Again, in this room, there is a little elevated platform. Got the wrong tool. There it is. Right there. That is, seems to maybe have held a statue at one point. On the ground, right? So the platform is basically like just like 5 feet, like not even 5 feet. In the center of this room, Khaligrim, you would see carved in the ground a giant rune. One that I believe you are familiar with. Let me verify. Yes. Frost. It's a frost rune.
Oh, the frost room is cold.
Makes sense,
And
yeah.
up to the north, there is another hall, and you can kind of peek in there, and it seems like there's some maybe armored statues. So that's the information. That's what you see. That's what you sense. There's no smell in here. It is just super cold.
Have we asked if the slime smells yet?
No
don't think that
obvious
we have.
smell. Yeah, no obvious smell.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember. Did it feel like there was a temperature change when we were outside with the slime?
No, it was normal outside. Yeah. So yes, you've got a room to the north. You've got a jammed shut door right in front of you, Khaligrim. Up to the northwest. Some slime emerging from the floor, so it's like kind of going underneath the door. And the giant rune in the center of the floor. So what do you want to do?
I think we can take care of this swollen shut door.
Yeah. So I relay the information back to the other two about the statues, the statue in the that corridor. Just thinking. Wait, Clover, you have that torch on you, don't you?
Yes, I do.
We haven't tried using it on the slime, have we? Can it be burned?
Did we?
Somebody, I thought somebody used a spell last time. I don't remember what it was again. But I don't think it worked very well. But I don't remember what it was.
We can.
I don't
Try
think so. But it's been about a month and some since this group last played. I remember you poked it
Maybe
with,
one of us
with,
tried
a,
poking
with a
it.
stick or something, yeah. But
Ah,
I
that
don't
was it.
think anyone
Yeah.
tried to really interact with it at all. Khaligrim, can you roll me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Oh,
No reasons.
Yep.
no reason.
Constitution. There we go.
23.
Them dwarfs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I'll
what are we doing?
pass the torch up if somebody would like to try and set the slime on fire. Maybe it's like the thing from the thing.
Could be.
Okay,
I remember
torch
that
goes
play.
off for you. Torch goes on for you.
I'll probably. There was a little bit of slime in like this corridor, like here as
Nope.
well, wasn't there?
Well, a little bit. Yeah, it's mostly concentrated on the ground right in front of this door. Again, it seems like it's coming from the bottom of the door.
Okay. Right, so kind of like approach the door.
Okay.
Just kind of like just crouch a bit and kind of point the torch to where like the slime, like a good concentration of slime is. And
Yeah. Let me can I draw something here? Let me try to be a bit more visual here with what this looks like. Oop, not that color.
I'm holding on to Wisp's shoulder in case I need to run, since I can't see in the dark.
Boop, 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 boop. So yeah, it's like seeping out from behind the door on the ground. So there is a concentration of it here on the ground. So you could kind of step into that square, and obviously, you would do your best to avoid it. But you could reach the slime from where you're standing with the with the torch.
I would probably take the safer option and just reach at it from where I'm at.
Okay, so when you guys had
And, like-
poked it with a stick on the outside, there was a little bit of sizzling to it, but I forget which stick we used. If we used Wisp, your staff,
I think I used my javelin because I've got 3 javelins.
used your javelin, yes.
That sounds right.
Okay, all right, very good then. But there was noticeable damage to the ground, to the vegetation that was underneath it. Okay, so then standing here at Khaligrim and reaching forward to are you trying to impact, or are you just trying to get it close enough to see if it reacts at all?
Trying to get close to it. I don't want to like dip the torch into the slime, but just kind of hover it so like the heat from the torch would kind of see if it would affect it in any way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there is a reaction. A little bit of movement. Kind of like away from it. So it's not like one mass just kind of like slurping away from it. But it's like as you get a little bit closer, you're seeing like it almost kind of like spread a little bit around. Trying to avoid it. Not all of it, and some pieces of it is still there, but you're seeing like the again, it's not like really like a solid per se, but I would say there is a noticeable movement away from the fire.
Hmm.
Well, it's some sign that heat does something. Is it the slime like not retreating back under the door? Or is it just moving away from the fire in general?
It's moving away from the fire, and it's just kind of retreating a little bit. So it's not like all of it just goes away. It's only like just around where that fire is. You can see a good portion of it kind of move away, like a good 5 inches worth of it just kind of like recede a little bit. But
I kind of want to know what happened.
it seems like it's only in reaction to the flame. It's not a continual process. It's just that instantaneous recede, and then it's just kind of holding.
Okay.
Huh.
Kind of like turn back to the other two. You two don't happen to have like a fire spell or anything on you?
No, I have a frost spell, but that's about it.
One moment.
As you say that, I would just... I would assume that Khaligrim, well, all of you, based on witnessing this, would get a sense of some kind of... I don't know if sentience is the right word. Maybe that's a bit much, but...
Awareness?
Yeah, awareness to it. So could be a creature adjacent. So if there is something that is seeping under the door here, and you guys attack it, you think you
It
guys
could attack back.
Yeah, I think there would be some pros and cons, like thought process that would happen here, as far as your characters go.
Hmm. See, now that I brought up the Thing reference, now I'm thinking about out of character, like all the stuff of people dealing with aliens, and I'm like, well, let's see if that turns into this. Do we want to go through that door? Do we want to go the other direction?
Always try proceeding down this corridor.
Well, it's also freezing cold in here too, right?
Yeah.
Correct. It is frigid.
Well, we could try the other way. There was a door the other way, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was.
Yes. Yeah,
There's a door
a very
and
similar
there's a
setup. A very similar setup.
Yeah.
You've got a hallway going to the north. You've got a place for a statue. It's a circular room. You've got another doorway that is similar to this setup.
Okay. I mean, if you two want to go in the warmer corridor, we can go there.
I would not be opposed. Boop. Boop. Boop.
We can just take a look. That'll give us some.
Yeah.
Let us know what some of our options are.
Hmm.
Watch, this is the fire giant corridor, and it's just sweltering now.
Just to be clear, Clover would take back ownership of the torch or not?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so again, in this room, you have a blindfolded statue. Faces towards the door up to the northeast. Clover, as you enter into this room, it is a similar setup. You've got a wooden door. It is swelling. It seems like it is jammed. You've got some of the slime that is concentrated coming from underneath the door frame. The center of the room.
Ah! Sorry.
Another giant rune carved in the ground.
Okay.
And yes, so yeah, statue kneeling. Actually, as you get a bit closer to it, you would recognize it does look like a Firbolg. But one hand has fingers up to the lips, kind of like a shushing kind of look. But eyes are blindfolded. Seems like a bit of a cloth kind of held around it. But yes, there is a hallway up to the north.
What are the 4 kind of giants? Frost, fire, storm, and hill?
Cloud?
Frost, fire, stone, and something else.
Okay.
Frost, cloud, fire,
Cloud.
stone.
Thank you. We're dealing with hill giants on another campaign I'm in.
Yeah, just ran the Storm King's Thunder, which is all about giants. All right.
Do we think this one could be Cloud, maybe? And I'll move in so that the others can move in too.
Yeah.
Pointing out
Temperature-wise,
the
it is
slime by the door.
Yeah, temperature-wise, it is totally cool in here. Seems about what it was in the previous room, not the cold room, but the other rooms you were in. Let me look at something real quick on your sheet. Okay.
My sheet?
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna give you a +2 to this. We'll apply your proficiency bonus to it, but I'm gonna need a history check.
Okay.
To see if you nail
+2.
what this is.
Okay.
A history check.
History. Normal?
Normal, yes. 14 with the +2, that'll be 16. The rune on the ground is a stone giant.
Okay. I'll point it out to Khaligrim and Wisp. But I figure Wisp is standing right next to me, so.
Stone giant, stone statue. Not sure if that has anything to do with it.
Yeah, the statue's a bit strange. Yeah.
Clover. Okay. Clover, I would say with that 16 as well. Firbolgs have some teachings about giants. So seeing that it's a stone giant, I think you would be aware of a few facts, I guess. Fun facts.
Okay.
Stone giants are generally known as being very judicious. They have great insight of the people around them. They also have the ability to see great distances, including in the dark.
Okay. I would pass on this information to the others then.
This could be symbolic. Firbolg, giant kin. Somehow trying to mimic that great insight despite eyes being closed.
Well, this hallway's unblocked at least.
Yes, up to the north. Up to the north, it seems to enter into a room. Looks chapel-esque. Seems like there's wooden benches, maybe pews of some kind. A stone altar all the way up against that back wall. But very obvious that there's some damage to the wooden pews.
I'm sorry, was the
Vantage point,
blindfold on the
it's hard to
statue also
tell.
made of stone, or is it separate?
Say this again?
Was the blindfold on the statue also made of stone, or is that separate?
No, it looks like it's cloth. Like it's made with a black.
Oh. I almost want to know what happens when you take the cloth off.
Curious myself, but is that something we want to do now, or? Ah, so many
That's
options.
true.
Always see if there's any other statues that have blindfolds over them.
We can do that.
Let's
Hmm,
roll
start
a
heading
quick
up.
group perception check real quick.
Mhm.
16.
Perception. 18.
Yes. Only other thing remarkable about this room as you kind of look around and investigate what's in here. And you would notice it at first, like in the hallway, as some of the dust kind of is pushed off to the side with you guys' movement. But there are drag marks in here as well. And the drag marks seem very heavy, like stone being dragged. So just kind of like gouging the floor. And it seems to come from the hallway, so over from the right side, all the way up to the north.
So the drag marks come from the right side where we came from?
Mm-hmm. But again, with the amount of dust that's on the ground, it's hard to tell where it starts.
Start moving forward towards the chapel and start to take a look around in there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go slowly and carefully.
Yeah.
Okay. Bit of a faint rot smell as you get closer in here, but looking into this room from the hall, seems to be pews. Some tattered tapestries along the walls. Up on the stone altar, all the way up to the north. Candles. Mostly like just wax. Wax kind of like dripping down the front. And there is a door up to the north, all the way on the right side.
And do I see any slime in this area either?
Yes. There is noticeable slime. It seems to probably emanate or begin from the doorway into this hall. Easy to avoid, easy to step around, and kind of goes
mean
up into
there by
this
Clover,
room.
is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
correct.
Okay.
And then it's just kind of like around the center of this room. Seems to head towards the just kind of like just a smattering on the ground in these areas.
Well, do we check out
And
this door or?
yeah, Clover, or not Clover, Wisp, I would just say as you like fully enter into this room and you're smelling that rot, yeah, it's like a mixture of like rot and mold. It's almost like a natural rot. So probably coming from some of the wood, but also you're seeing mold on the tattered tapestries along the walls. And the tapestries are on the western wall, to the left.
We're in kind of a swampy region too, right?
On the outskirts of it, yeah.
Sure.
I could approach that door and see if we could get it open, maybe.
For the shot that we can see And the drag marks continue towards the door?
No. Not necessarily.
Oh.
There's okay. The drag marks. No,
Mhm.
not towards that door.
Oh.
Towards the wall with the tapestry.
Oh.
Seems to go like towards the center and then off to the left side. And then drag marks kind of stop.
Do they stop, or do they go into the wall?
Well, you are in the hallway. So are you guys all actually entering into this room and investigating things?
Please let
Yeah,
me in.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see where the drag marks go.
Okay.
All right. So again, well, actually, real quick, we're gonna take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
But just a reminder, we're using like a crossbreed of like original D&D or OSR style dungeon pacing, which means unless you tell me otherwise, like if you're going straight to that door, then I know you're not really spending a lot of time in this room and you're just trying to cruise through. But otherwise, it's assumed that you guys spend about 10 minutes into a room looking at it. Just find anything and everything that you want to find. So if you guys do want to kind of sit in here and look around and investigate it thoroughly, the assumption is 10 minutes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I keep dropping stuff. I am so sorry.
No worries.
Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll take a 5-minute break, get refills, that sort of thing, and then we'll head back in.
All right.
That's good.
Sounds good.
Right, I am back.
Back.
Hello, welcome back.
Plug in. There we go. I'm back with ice cream as well.
Oh, geez. Ice cream is good. What kind? Talk to me. Let's try this.
Chocolate cheesecake.
I mean, is it taste more like cheesecake than ice cream? Like, is it heavy cheesecake
It's like
flavor?
not really, which is surprising. It's more just like chocolate ice cream with the texture of like cheesecake. I think it's been whipped a little bit more, and then there's like graham cracker veins in it and chunks of chocolate.
That does sound interesting.
I also got a magic bullet blender from work, and I've been making alcoholic milkshakes recently.
The Ninja blender is the one that I got. And used it all the time, and then it broke. The cup shattered.
Oh no!
So I ordered a new one from like Walmart or something. Like I bought it online.
Yeah.
And Walmart sent me two. So I have two, but it's been like 2 years. Well, it was like three years ago is when I bought the replacement and got two. So I've got one still in the box, but it's like I haven't. It's been a while since I keep getting the inclination of I should start doing stuff again, because I used to make basically like milkshakes, I guess. I don't remember what I used to call them, but yeah, it was like ice cream, ice, and then like whatever you want in there. So it's like vanilla ice cream usually, bananas, peanut butter, and that would be like my meal replacement kind of thing.
Oh my god.
It was so good.
And I'm back with dinner.
Hi, welcome.
Sorry I'm late.
Hey,
Today was one of those days where it's like I have so much to do to clean up my apartment, and I checked my phone. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right.
Are you
There was a
moving?
debate.
No.
There's a debate on what to do.
No.
I'm glad you guys decided to push forward.
Well, not to, no spoilers, but you
Mhm.
know, I thought it was something that the two of them could handle. If worst case scenario, bring Jabble back. If they made poor decisions, but that's fine.
If we made poor decisions.
Yeah, thus far, no major decisions have been made,
I mean this lovingly.
except for
I mean this lovingly. Saul's in here. Our decisions will be less than poor, or better than poor.
yeah. You guys are very it comes off a little timid, like you're skeptical. Like Khaligrim trying to set the slime on fire was like the first aggressive thing that this party has like really done so far.
I think none of us want to be responsible for killing the entire party.
Yeah.
Little things.
Yeah.
No, it's nice having a timid party once in a while. Sometimes it's nice having people that everyone is the voice of reason and you're not the sole voice of reason.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I
Again,
think we could head back in here.
Yeah.
But yes, without a crazy a crazy character that just jumps into anything and opens all the doors without anyone's approval. Yeah.
I mean this lovingly.
So,
Saul's.
Yeah. So again, there's just like a smattering of slime and whatnot in this area. But okay, so you guys are in here. You're seeing some things visually. Let's just kind of discuss what it is each of you would like to do in here. What are you investigating? So there's the door, you've got the altar, you've got these tattered tapestries, you've got the stone carved drag marks in the ground. What has your attention or interest?
What was the drag marks? See if like it came from this room, or if there's like a secret room or something that it came from.
That's my inclination as well.
Do they kind of disappear behind the tapestries, or?
Okay, so we're all focused in on the drag marks. What it sounds like.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll continue using the previous group perception check. So average was 16. Okay. A few things you're going to notice about these drag marks. One is the drag marks seem to be coming from the south. So it was dragged from the west or from the east into the circular room to the south of you with the stone rune through this room and then towards that wall, and then just kind of stop.
Okay.
But it stops in the sense that that's where the tapestries are. So, but you could continue to see, like, push some of the tapestries away, investigate the tapestries, that sort of thing. But I will say, Clover, As you are kind of scanning the room, and you take a look at the tapestries and kind of scan away from it, as everyone's kind of looking at the grooves in the floor, trying to trace these marks. Just out of the corner of your eye, you see a little bit of movement coming from the left, and you would notice that there is a little bit of draft. It seems to be periodically causing the tapestries to move. Again, right around the same area that Wisp and Khaligrim are finding the drag marks to.
So, are these like dark areas on the ground? Are these sort of showing where on the walls the tapestries are, or is that just like a shading?
It's just a shading.
Okay.
It's to illustrate height of the rooms.
Okay. I would do my best to scoot around the others and get to, the tapestry, and like try and feel along the wall where that draft is coming from exactly.
Again, it seems like you all are kind of moving over in that direction, kind of looking around, moving the tapestries to the side. Not even feeling the walls, but just kind of moving the tapestries around that part, kind of part. And there is an entrance there, and you do see a door on the other side. Again, just kind of carrying around there's a dampness to the room. There is like a heavier rot and mold smell in here. There's mold on the tapestry, but easily avoidable, especially if you use like a javelin to kind of push it to the side. And then yes, there is a door. The door there is made out of wood. Looks very damp, kind of bowing a little bit. And it's not just the drag marks that kind of head in that direction, but it seems like now that you've moved the tapestry to the side, there is also slime that seems to be around that area as well. Not as concentrated as the rooms to the south. It's just more seems like a path. What direction the slime went, who knows, but the statue definitely went into that room. Or whatever's beyond that door.
Can I put my ear up to the door and see if I hear anything on the other side?
Sure. You do not. Well, let me look at something real quick. It seems very quiet over there in general. I would say you listening though, you get a sense of some activity. It seems very faint. So either it's very small or far away, but it seems like organic. It seems
Seem like a person or a creature on the other side.
Yeah, it's not as impactful as a person, but definitely some kind of creature is over on the other side, but it's very faint. So again, it could be further away, or it's small variety like bugs chittering or something.
Rats.
Met some very nice rats before, so. Well, do we want to try going in this door?
I think
Yeah.
we should.
I will carefully bypass the slime and try and open the door as slowly and quietly as I can.
Okay. It's it's another it's very similar to the last story you saw in the other room that had like a pull handle. This doesn't have the handle. So likely you're on the opposite side, so you just need to push it. But as you kind of get your shoulder into to push it forward, it seems jammed. It doesn't seem like it's locked, but it seems like, again, you're noticing a swell to it. It's very damp. To get to the other side, probably going to need to break it down.
Is it just a
Or-
wooden door?
Yeah, or like just run full speed into it. So either,
That's not
taking
my
a
specialty.
weapon towards it, or jamming yourself up against it to break through it. But to do that, obviously you would have to make some kind of noise. So being aware that potentially something on the other side, I think again, Wisp internally probably kind of weighing the pros and cons in your head as you relay the information to the others.
I think we should. I can break it down.
Well, something's going to know that we're here eventually, so why not?
Don't go up.
And what's your process? How are you breaking down this door?
Aim for the. Well. It's just. Is it a wooden door, stone door? What's the
Wooden.
situation here?
It's wood, yeah. It's
I see the
wood,
hinges?
It's damp, rotted. Hinges. Northern wall.
Okay. I'll aim for the hinges. You know that scene out of Titanic when she's trying to hit the dresser or whatever with the axe? That's my yeah.
All right. Well, it takes you probably about a minute to bust through this door, but once you get into it, I'm sorry. What weapon are you using, or tool?
It's an axe. I would hand over the torch to someone else, and I've got a battle axe.
Okay. But then once you break it down, you take the torch back.
Yes.
All right. Well, yeah, you're able to bust down the door. Again, it takes a few whacks. We'll say it takes about a minute or so to knock it down, but be able to get it off the hinges and kind of bust through it, kind of push it to the side, and peering into the room, see some rubble on the ground.
Stone?
Rubble coming from over to the north side, and rubble coming
Didn't mean to do that.
from the south side.
Okay. Gonna go in. Ah, no! I shut the door.
All right,
Open.
let me just I'm gonna get rid of this door.
Silly doors.
Remember, you guys can use arrow keys to maneuver yourself around.
Yes.
All right. not. So the map, hard to really illustrate this, but there is a tunnel leading up. So if you guys kind of like move up, you can kind of peer through it, and yeah, it looks the rubble that's on the ground up here seems to be dug by something to get to the outside, and yeah, you are seeing the outside here. You've got a good idea that this is the opposite side of where you guys were when you were investigating this line from the outside. The tunnel is very, very hard. Like, so it doesn't look like it was carved out by dwarves with pickaxes. It looks like kind of just dug through by claws or something else. But yeah, there's a lot of rubble, a lot of like body parts, like rodents and small boned animals, just kind of sprinkled in there. But Wisp, the chittering noise that you heard, you can still hear it. Pretty sure it's coming from the tunnel. A little louder, and it pauses for, I would say, like a good minute as you guys walk in and like look around, but it starts to pick up after you've been in here. Otherwise, the only other noticeable thing... Oh, I'm sorry. So, rubble on the ground up here. Rubble on the ground down here. This rubble is kind of mixed in with earth. So, a lot of dirt, sand, mold. Yeah. There is some mold there as well. The stuff down here is mostly stone. It does not look like it is full statue, but it's definitely made of the same material as that other statue, so it could be part of it. Or who knows. And then the only other noticeable thing is a moldy, wet desk, like a writing desk of some sort. It's got some drawers in it. So what do you guys want to do?
To the writing desk. Anything in the drawers.
Much like the door, the wood desk is swollen, dampness. You'd have to break open the drawers to get in there, but doable.
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay, as you're working on that, Wisp, what are you doing?
I'm gonna move towards the tunnel, but stop there while Clover is doing their thing, and also just kind of keep an eye down the tunnel to see if anything changes.
Okay. Slime on the ground in this room, but seems to kind of go towards that tunnel, or from that tunnel. Again, it's hard to tell like what direction it's going. But looking in the tunnel, there is quite a bit of that slime.
Go ahead and light a torch just so I have some sort of fire on hand.
Okay. We'll go ahead and
Are there sconces on the walls?
We'll go ahead and light that torch. Real quick, Khaligrim, what are you doing in this room?
Probably just have a look around the room, see if like the drag marks from the previous room kind of go anywhere or anything.
Mm-hmm. Are you just looking for the drag marks to find destination, or are you looking around the room in general?
I think that's probably the first thing that that I look for. It's just the drag marks. And I just look around at the walls as well to see if there's any, I don't know, sign of like something being there,
Okay.
lying against it or anything.
All right, very good. Khaligrim, could you roll me a perception or investigation check?
Yep.
Okay. Clover, yeah, it doesn't take long at all to bust open this desk to get the drawers out. And in I would say there's two drawers. First drawer, you find a mold covered book. Seems leather bound, but a nice covering of mold over top of it.
Okay. Penicillin.
Would you pull it out, open it, see what you can find out?
Yes. I'm going to, as delicately as possible, take it out, open it up, and see if I can get an inkling of what this book is.
Okay. Wisp, real quick, you were so you lit a torch to look outside, and a bit better in this tunnel. Anything in particular you're trying to accomplish with this? Wisp. Okay, we will come back to Wisp. It may be muted.
Oh, yep, I was muted. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yes. What are you trying to accomplish with this?
Mostly with the torch, it's mostly kind of a preventative measure, in case the mold starts moving.
Fine. Yes.
Yes.
So are you just kind of like holding it in place, like more of a defensive mechanism, or are you kind of sticking it into that hole in the wall?
I mean, once everyone's ready to move, I was thinking I wanted to go a little bit further into the tunnel and see if there was anything else I could see, but like if the mold is in front of me, I'll probably like hold it sort of close. The slime.
Yeah. Let me re-describe this. We've got some complications here. So you couldn't necessarily move into the tunnel unless you get on all fours and start to crawl. So it's not like steps,
right?
Getting up to the surface. It's something burrowed.
It's a tiny tunnel
into here. Yeah. So you could probably fit, but slime everywhere. There is some mold. And some like bones of small critters. But I would say as you light the torch and kind of shove it in this direction, you would definitely not necessarily notice the slime, because that's like obvious. But there are bugs in here, and as soon as the light shines in here from the fire, there is quite a bit of movement. It seems to be about at least 5-10 feet away from you, and from what you can tell, you're a good like 25-ish feet from the surface. But yeah, the sound gets louder. There's your upsetting nature in here. But I think what you would notice is that as there is movement, it's more of grubs. It's not like a majority of what you see is grubs. There is some like other like insects here, but majority of what you see is grubs. But they seem to be negatively affected by that light and that fire, and so aren't necessarily moving away from you, but there's like a hissing sound coming from the hole.
Definitely got some creepy crawlies in here. You said there were still some drag marks that lead kind of into the tunnel?
No, just slime.
Oh.
Khaligrim, drag marks lead kind of like over here into this set of rubble that's down here. And again, it looks like probably made of the same stone that those statues are made out of. But there's not enough stone here to produce a statue. I think just dwarven knowledge of stone stuff, right? So it's possible like it just kind of got chipped away and then moved somewhere else, but maybe chipped away into smaller sections and got carried. But that's kind of like where the drag marks end. And there's not enough of anything here tangible to get any kind of idea of what that statue looked like.
Yeah.
But looking around the rest of the room, you would feel the floor move slightly up to the north. As you're kind of not making much progress with that statue, you kind of move around, and you feel the floor kind of almost like shift a little bit as you step over here. And as you take a step back, it appears there is a loose flagstone here. Clover. The book,
Yes.
unsalvageable. At least
Okay.
from your perspective. Maybe, Records Guild could take a crack at it and be able to like unstick all the pages together. But this would
Right.
be a very delicate thing. However, the inside cover, you are able to get that apart, and there is some writing there. Small
Okay.
inscription. It's been damaged, especially with you kind of pulling stuff apart.
Right.
But all that is left is written in giant. Says, "To my companions, Flagger," and that's it.
Flagger. Okay.
Yeah, that's all you're getting.
Okay.
Khaligrim, inspecting that loose flagstone, you are able to kind of move it to the side. And it appears there is a lockbox underneath. Seems like something you could easily pick up and inspect.
Is it a heavy lockbox, or is it rather light?
Would you pick it up? Try to move it? No. No, not at all. Yeah, it's fairly light. Not very big. I would say maybe a foot and a half lengthwise. Maybe 6 inches deep. Well, not deep. 6 inches wide, and maybe 3 inches deep. So yeah, it doesn't seem like there's much to it all. But yeah, it's fairly light. So as you pick it up, you can feel something kind of moving inside, but yeah, that's all. Almost rolling, like something inside is rolling as you pick it up and inspect it.
I'll try and like have a feel around the lid of it to see if it is able to come open, or
Yeah,
or if it's actually locked.
there's a latch to it. Yeah, there's a latch. It looks like a lock. And yeah, if you try to open up the lid, yeah, it does appear to be locked. But it's made out of wood. Does not seem to be affected by the dampness or mold. Seems to have avoided this area for some reason.
Okay. Probably grab my warhammer and try and like hit it open, whack it open.
Okay.
Or just the tail end of it.
Yeah, give me some visual context here. Are you placing it on the ground and then like coming down on it, or are you like just holding it in one hand and then just knocking it with the other hand? Or are you putting it on the desk and doing it there, or?
I'll probably like slide it up against the wall and then use like the tail end of the hammer to kind of like try and like break an opening from the top.
Yeah. All right. We'll get to that in a second. Real quick, Clover. Nothing. There's nothing else on this writing desk that looks recoverable. I mean, you've got this book.
Okay.
There could be something worthwhile here. It had that inscription. Who knows what it means? But yeah, this might be something to take back to the records to be able to see if they can like salvage it. But
salvage, yeah. Then I'm gonna come over and hover over the shoulders of the other two and see what they're doing.
I would say you get here. Khaligrim probably up against this back wall. Has got a lockbox up against the wall. Has got his warhammer out, and he's just about to strike at it. So that's what you see. Seems like he found a lockbox. Underneath where you're standing is a loose flagstone that he has pulled off to the side. There's a bit of a hole there. So he made a discovery.
What's he going to strike it with?
Warhammer.
Okay.
Did you say it was a smallerish box?
About a 1.5 by 6 inches by 3 inches.
Okay.
Ish. Yeah, so he just kind of, it's very light, so yeah, he can press it up against the wall and smash down on it with the other hand. No issue.
Okay. Just gonna be like, wait. And then I'm gonna take it and I'm going to flip it over. Say, you need to make sure to hit the lock and not the hinge.
Oh, yeah, good point. Thanks. I'm going to readjust the box.
Okay. You readjust the box. So again, just to try to get a visual of this. Bottom of box is pressed up against the wall. Lock is facing up. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you smash down on this thing, and enough to break the lock, not necessarily enough to destroy this box. And as your hammer comes down, you feel like a jolt pushing up against the hammer, and as you pull the hammer away through that lock, you now see a needle sticking out of the lock. But it seems like it jostled it enough to unlock it.
It was trapped and we just bypassed the trap by breaking it open.
Well, I'm sure if Khaligrim was holding it the other way, Khaligrim could have felt that needle.
Oh, I'm glad I flipped it around. That was literally just for a joke, and I'm glad that happened.
So yeah, you put the warhammer away, pull the box away from the wall, unlatch it, pull up the lid, and there is a very ornately carved wooden scroll case, scroll tube, if you will. And it's not just an ornately designed. Khaligrim and Clover, I think you both would recognize there is writing there that is in Giant. Pulling it out and kind of twisting it around and reading it, it would say, from the skies, you came with salvation. Our repentance will be paid in full.
Hmm. Didn't the Firbolg outside at the little shrine place, weren't they saying something about something returning?
I thought they said the giants were.
Giants were coming back.
Yeah, the giants were coming back, yes. But was looking off into the skies. Could be related. Could be weird hallucination. Who knows?
Yeah.
Would you open up the scroll case?
Yes.
Okay. Pulling out the scroll. It has a bit of a ribbon tied around it to hold it in place, as it's kind of like wrapped in a circle, you know. Yeah, as you pull that ribbon off to the side and take a look at it, It is very much so dedicated or talking about cloud giants. And it is, Clover, you would be aware of the cloud giant rune, like the symbols, and they're just kind of all over the place. But yeah, it definitely seems to be talking about uh, cloud giants. So, something maybe you could glean information off of a longer period of time studying it, Khaligrim. But
Okay.
Hmm.
That about everything in here? Is there anything else that
nope, that was
we
it.
want to look at? Okay, cool.
So slime seem to like whatever, if it's a creature that leaves trails of slime or slime itself is moving, seem to go into this room and out the tunnel, or opposite, or both, or who knows. And then whatever statue that was drug in here seems to have been chopped up, and no sign of where it went to.
I suppose we should keep this scroll. It seems like that it was kept protected for a reason.
I'm sure the Records Guild might want it.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone there could probably glean something from it.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
God, this place is a whole lot bigger than I thought. I'm just scrolling to the top of the map, and I'm like, oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rooms so far.
Yeah.
So far.
And we're like maybe halfway.
Oh.
Well, it's,
So where to?
I have a feeling it's too dangerous to go through that tunnel. If it's just going to lead out to the
Agreed.
slime.
Well, you're pretty
Roughly.
confident whatever's on the that the other side of that tunnel is what you witnessed when you were looking down to it from the outside. Pretty confident it's the same. It's the same tunnel. So, but your issue is because you got to get on all fours and kind of crawl through there. You are going to be touching the slime.
Yep.
And there's also bugs in there, so entirely up to you. But you could escape through that tunnel if you'd like.
Well, we have a few other doors that we can check out at least. Maybe see if we can find some more information.
He
We'll
hasn't
say
been north of the.
I was just gonna say, time wise, you guys have spent about an hour in here, so it'll be at this point at Clover you'd be redoing a torch.
Okay. That drops me down to 8 torches.
Suppose there's the door next back in the room came from to check out.
There's that one, and then the door in the dancing room.
But I think the door in the dancing room and the door in the chapel might lead either to the same place or 2 rooms next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll head back out in that direction and
Yeah.
I just wanted to move my token quickly.
I'll listen at the door again, just in case.
Silence. It is a stone door. Or I'm sorry, it is a wooden door. Does not seem to be as damp or damaged as the previous door you had just seen. Seems to be in okay condition. It looks like a push door. You're not seeing any locks on it.
Well, I'll try and push it open slowly and quietly.
You do so. Barely a sound. And it leads a hallway that seems to turn right.
All right, let's take a look.
And I'm stepping over the goop. I'm not touching it.
Easily doable. All right. Oop. Okay, looking into this room as you guys enter in, there is pillars in the center. Seem to be carved. There are scenes there. Show giants in battle. Wisp, as you kind of peek around, you would notice at the top right room there is a stone-looking dog statue. It's kind of resting phase, facing to the left. And then there is a hallway all the way over to the right side. Straight shot.
I'll step in a little bit to make sure everyone can get in.
Okay,
Thank you.
there's a door to the south. There's a door to the north.
And is there the standard smattering of slime in here as well?
No. Slime free.
Oh.
Interesting. I guess I'll go investigate the statues.
Statues, okay. You're gonna take a look at the statues. Khaligrim, what are you doing? Again, these pillars in the center seem to have carvings depicting giants in battle with something.
Mm-hmm.
Or just giants doing giant things.
Yeah, I'll probably take a look around at the different pillars just to see what they are and whether I could make out any of them based off like some study I've done with the giants or.
Okay. And Clover?
I'm gonna just take a quick glance over the pillars to see if it's all the same battle, different battles, different scenes from the same battle, just enough while I'm heading up to the other statue.
Okay. All right. So, some things you guys are going to notice in this room. One is, as far as the pillars go, Khaligrim, as you're spending some time to investigate, kind of wrapping around and looking at the different scenes that's being depicted, and Clover, you in some fashion as well. Definitely battle scenes, showing giants fighting. Definitely dragons, larger dragons, and then other smaller creatures that are dragon-esque, so it's kind of hard to determine size of these things. I mean, obviously the giants and the dragons, like, they're huge, and then you've got these smaller creatures that seem to also kind of be dragon-like. Could be kobolds, could be dragonborn. There's really no good depiction of these smaller creatures. It's more or less giants being victorious and battling down everything. Clover, as you make your way towards that statue, you would see an inscription above the door to the north. So getting a closer look to it, again written in giant, it says, "Call to the champions." I'm sorry. That's not what it says. It says, "Call to the companions." That's much different.
That's much different.
Yeah. And as far as the stone statues of the dogs, they are resting, kind of like laying on their sides. Both seem alert in nature. Again, just carved out of stone. But they are chained to the doors. So to the door to the north. So it's like the door to the north has two chains coming out of it, one going to one side, one going to the other side. They seem to attach to the collar of these statues.
If I reach out and touch one, does it just feel like stone?
Yes. These dogs are relatively large. They're big, bulky dogs. Like, think Saint Bernard type size.
Mm.
Or as like bulk. But not as hairy. Like if a pit bull and a Saint Bernard did some stuff, and it turned into a statue. That's what that is. But generally speaking, that is as much information as you can gather from this room. Two stone dogs chained to a door to the north. You've got scenes of giants fighting dragons amongst other creatures. Maybe kobolds, maybe dragonborn, maybe other related things. You've got the hallway to the east. You have a doorway to the south. And I think, based on size, context, you're pretty confident the door to the south goes to the sarcophagus room with the dancing skeletons. And the inscription above the door that says "Call to the companions."
Ah. Oh, wait, pop up. Do we want to head north or do we want to head east?
Well, heading east is likely going to take us back towards the cold room, but we weren't able to explore that direction, so we could at least probably find out a little bit more.
Yeah, I think we
couldn't.
should.
You just didn't.
Well, that's true. We decided not to.
Yeah,
It was cold.
it's chilly.
It was.
Could always at least try and have a peek or something, just to see if we can get any like a different pictures to what the room or whatever is down there.
Take a look.
It's making you go around because it won't let you go through the pillar.
Yeah, I should have made those walkable.
Oh, no, I
Calvin,
have
you
to click
got a
extra
door to the
thing.
south. Seems made out of wood. You can see a metal iron ring. Seems like a pull door. Nothing majorly remarkable about this hallway.
Is the door got like any signs of swelling or any slime like oozing underneath or anything?
No.
Okay. Kind of like relay this to the other two. Well, there's a door down here which looks slime free. Can have a look.
Yeah, that
See?
actually brings up a good point that I feel like I should bring up here. So the cold room, the slime that was coming from under the door was not as there was not as much as the slime coming out of that other door.
Okay.
And besides sitting in front of that door, you didn't notice any other slime in that room. So just wanted to specify that. But yes, you have a door to the south. You should be able to click that door and interact with it. And inside you see statues. Okay. So, yeah, some immediate obvious things about this room. Not as cold. It's a little cold. It's a little chilly. You're feeling a draft coming from the south, but overall, you're seeing more of that mold. So there's mold patched all over the walls. There is a mural on the right side, or on the eastern side, but concealed partially by the mold. The statues themselves seem to be bulky army type soldier dudes, made with a dark stone.
Okay.
It seemed pretty finely carved. The only other noticeable thing about the statues is they're all holding weapons. Each one seems to be holding like a different weapon. So, Khaligrim, as you're walking in here, you're seeing a mace, a morning star, a battle axe, a warhammer, a halberd, a spear. Not made of that stone. Light peeks through from the torches behind you. There's color there. There's metal, wood.
Am I able to determine what the type of stone is on the statues?
Yeah, potentially. Is that what you are entering this room to investigate?
Yeah, that'll be the first thing, just to look at the different statues, kind of like.
Yeah. Very, very finely carved. Actually, the first thought that came to you is, wow, this seems dwarven. As far as how well it was made.
Mm,
The lines are perfect.
yeah.
Seem like Firbolg in nature as far as the size, the girth. It's definitely not dwarven fighters. It's like Firbolg size. Clover, Wisp, you guys are walking in the room. What are you guys doing?
Oh, sorry.
And
Yes.
as you're kind of peeking in, there's these statues. They're all holding weapons. It seems. There's a mural on this
Yes.
eastern wall. A lot of mold on the wall. It's hard to really determine just by quick scan of what it is, of what the mural is depicting. So what do you would like to do?
That's a very good question.
So many puzzles.
I'm gonna try and move an arm of one of the suits of armor and see if it's rigid or if it moves.
Okay. So you're interacting with the statues. Khaligrim, you're trying to gather as much information off the statues as you can. Wisp, are you focusing in on anything in particular?
I guess I'll just assist Khaligrim in whatever he's looking into.
Khaligrim, history check. With whatever stone cutting gives you, I forget. Is that advantage or is that proficiency? Let's look real quick. Stone cutting.
Yeah, proficient. Add
cunning.
double your proficiency bonus.
It's 4. It's a history skill. Okay, cool. All right. Go ahead and yeah, roll me that, and roll me at advantage history check, and we'll add a +4.
Yeah.
Afterwards. 14. So 14 plus, so it'll be 18. Wonderful. Pretty confident this is obsidian. You have seen this kind of stone deep in the mountains northeastern. You've seen it, but not used in this way. This is like obsidian can be very, very brittle if it's not treated right. And you're very confident this was dwarven made, but masters, absolute masters of statue carving, that sort of thing. Yeah, this is quite remarkable. You don't know anyone who could do this type of quality. You're not sure if there's any settlers that could do this kind of quality. But again, the weapons themselves are not stone. They are. You see the wood in the shafts. You see the iron in the implement itself. And Clover, you try to maneuver one of the arms and it does not move, but the weapon, and again, they're just kind of like the statues are just kind of like holding the weapons upright. So if it's a two-handed weapon, they're holding it with two hands. Otherwise, just one hand. Yeah. So the arm doesn't move, but it seems like you could easily pull out these weapons. So you've got a mace, a morning star, a battle axe, a warhammer, a longsword, a halberd, and a spear. And they're all...
Wait, Mace, Morning Star. I'm writing them all down.
Yeah, I'll write it to you. Mace.
Thank you.
Morning star, battle axe, warhammer, longsword, halberd, and spear. But they all seem like they have some uniqueness to it. So it's not like standard thing you get at a shop. They all have something like carved into it, or just that just makes it a bit different. So in Khaligrim, you would get this too as you're walking around. But like the Morning Star, the spikes are like 2 inches, but they're like almost like a spiral to them, like a conch shell almost. The mace, the hilt, also kind of spirals like that, like the way the wood has been carved just gives you would be a really easy to grip and hold on to. The battle axe has an engraving of a horse's head at the end of it. Warhammer has a boar's head. The longsword, the metal, has a bit of a wave look to it. Like it's solid and straight, but like the design just almost looks like little grooves and almost like shaped like veins, like blood like runs through this sword kind of thing. The halberd has a pennant on it, but the pennant does have a covering of mold. And the spear has a serrated edge. It's like a steak knife.
I hope I wonder what would have been missing from this area.
Yeah.
Are there 7 statues, or do you want top one, Khaligrim?
7 statues.
Okay.
These seem to be well made though. Like out of obsidian? Like that's really hard to make stuff out of, let alone a whole statue. How much do your people do smithing work, Clover?
Not really. I think most of our stuff involves wood and nature.
So there was a spot in the area down below, down to the south, for a statue. Did it seem like the one that... Did it seem like the thing that may have been dragged away was that regular stone? Or, yeah.
It seemed to match the same kind of stone of the other statue, the kneeling Firbolg.
And the blindfolded statue?
Correct. Yes, that's the kneeling Firbolg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just regular stone. Like, I mean, I guess there's no regular stone, but like, not obsidian. Like the same kind of stone that the rest of this complex is built out of. Like a whiter, lighter tint to it.
Was there dust built up on the floor as well?
In here? Or where?
Yeah, in this room.
A little bit, yeah. There's a little bit of dust on the floor in here. But with you guys moving around and investigating these weapons and statues and
Right.
moving that dust to the side, there's no obvious like drag marks or anything, and you didn't see any drag marks in that top section.
So it may
The
just be
previous
these
room.
7 statues here.
Wonder why they're in here though. Like, for what purpose?
Real quick, the mural, since you guys have spent some time in here, again, it's pretty heavily concealed by this mold, but like you are seeing similar images from what you saw in the room with the pillars. There are giants fighting other things, fighting dragons, but the mold is growing from the floor up, so like halfway up you really can't really see much of anything, and then above that it's just kind of patchy.
So I'm just looking back on some of the stuff that was typed out earlier. To my companions, Flager, and was that part of the scroll that was found, or?
That was in the book.
It's in the
It was in the book.
Yeah, it was an inscription in the book, the front cover.
Is that a dwarven name?
Flagger?
Mm-hmm.
No, Khaligrim, I think you would think that's probably more giant than anything else.
Did anyone check the door leading up north? Is it locked or is it unlocked?
I think there was 2 chains on it, wasn't there? That were attached to the dogs.
We didn't see if
Yes.
it was locked, but there were the 2 chains.
Yes.
Okay.
There was no one touched the door, from when I remember.
No. Seems like that would be the next logical path to check out.
Yeah, I guess we don't have enough dots to connect yet.
Mm-mm.
I'll head back towards that northern room.
Yeah. I think we can kind of assume that these 2 rooms are connected, and this one we might need to get into the north room.
Okay, so you
Oh
guys.
my god, token move.
You guys are leaving that room. You're heading back to the room to the north.
Oh, I wonder.
Yes.
So when we were in that chapel room, there was a room off to the side behind some tapestries. Do you think there might be a room behind that mural? Or at least a door?
Oh, good question.
Like, I don't know if this area is symmetrical, but if it is, then there's a good chance there's a door over there.
Mm-hmm.
Would there have been enough room for us to get in between the statues.
Yes.
There's a space at the very top of the line with 4.
Yes, but instead
Okay.
of a tapestry, it was a mural of some kind, and there was this mold on it, like yellowish, purplish mold.
Ugh.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, you could try to scrape that off and try to move it to the side, see if there's an entranceway over there.
You think we should try going back to that room and checking, or should we just go forward?
You have a quick check. Just see if there's anything.
Well, when we're here, let's look over the pillars and see if the pillars have statues' weapon correspondence on pillars.
So, what do the pillars in this room look like again?
These pillars go all the way up to the ceiling. Generally perfectly round outside of the carvings, but just depicting scenes of giants fighting dragons, as well as smaller dragon-like creatures. So, could be kobolds, could be dragonborn, could be lizard folk, or who knows. I mean, the main focal points is the giants doing some massive damage to dragons at like the large scale, but there's definitely smaller dragon-like creatures depicted as well, just not as ornately or as spotlighted.
I'm gonna go back to that room and check, just real quick.
Okay.
My curiosity has been piqued.
Okay, very nice.
I'm sorry, let me let you by. Are there... Because there's 7 statues down there, so is there like one figure on each side of the pillars on this side and like 3 on... walk around to the other side. This side? Or am I thinking too far into it?
It's a possible path.
Okay.
But those statues seem to be more Firbolg in nature, as far as size goes, right? Like, they're not like depictions of tiny giants,
Right.
per se, as far as the statues in the other room. So the pillars,
Okay.
no, you're not really seeing you're not seeing any like quantity per se of giants. It's like maybe 2 to 3 giants per pillar, if like the center pillars have a couple giants and the pillars on the opposite side is like maybe just 1. But like these drawings are like wrapping around the pillars, so it's kind of hard to determine. But yeah, it seems like focused in on the giants and dragons. Small smattering of whatever those other creatures are. Khaligrim, just looking at the door, there is another iron ring. But it's in the center. And it's a bit larger than the other ring that you saw, those other doors. But that's where the chain is being attached to these dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's if it's a ring that you pull to open, then maybe it's like jammed or locked, or this is just a symbolism of some kind. But it seems like these dogs are like holding this door in place.
The flagger and
So, Wisp, you're in the statue room again. What is it that you are doing?
I'm gonna take an arrow and like try and sneak behind this statue and see if there's anything underneath that mold.
So you're trying to scrape the mold away.
Mm-hmm. Or at least just enough to
Okay.
see what's behind it.
Yeah. Make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Because as you interact with the mold, you scrape it off, it disturbs it, and yeah, spores just kind of pop off, and it seems like one section affects the next section and continues to spiral, and the room quickly fills up with these spores. You are going to take.
Can I do my daily reroll?
Yes.
I think I'll do that.
The DM inspiration, yes.
Yes. Dexterity. Okay. I tried.
it's twice as good. It's twice as good.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
It is twice as good. You're going to take 8 poison damage. And you begin coughing very violently, very loud enough for everyone else to hear. But in the process, you do notice like moving that small section of mold, and the mold started like popping spores out and like getting loose. Some of the mold starts to fall, but yeah, you're like overcome with the spores that are in the air. You could try and keep going, trying to scrape more off, or you can come back to this. But I think it's going to be loud enough; it's going to echo, and everyone else is going to be able to hear this. So, Khaligrim and Clover, if you'd like to react, you can do so.
I'm gonna step back to the door.
That was a Wisp. Okay, we should check to see how she is.
Yeah, I'm going to just Wisp.
I'm fine. Don't go in there. No, that was okay. Not smart.
Eyes are getting kind of puffy, and yeah, you're just kind of coughing violently.
I should have worn a
But
mask.
the two of you, as you look forward, you will notice, a lot of cloudy spores in the air down to the south. but it does seem like they're falling to the ground ever so slowly. So, okay, it is a little after 10:30. So this is probably a good time to like take a break. You guys can regroup and think about how you want to proceed. As you're aware, there are two rooms you haven't fully explored. The one that is seemingly being protected by these stone dogs, or at least dogs are chained to the door. I mean, who knows? And then this room that is now filled with spores, but had a interesting mural that you started to scrape off.
That's good.
And that's it. As we'll end, this has been Agents of B.E.A.R.D, the place no one must go. And yeah. Again, you can find out more information about all of us and what we're doing. Wisp, Aletha and Gamer Hobbit, both content creators on YouTube and Twitch, maybe. I think Wisp with Aletha, you do some Twitch stuff.
Twitch recently.
But links to all their stuff can be found there, and we're also on Discord. So if you are over on the website or watching on YouTube or Rumble or whatever it is you're doing, or listening on demand on the podcast, link to that Discord is there. But yeah, you can get session recaps and all the lore we've uncovered, and yeah, just a place to chat with other people that listen. But that's it. Thank you, everybody. We'll go ahead and end our streams here.